Hello, this is Dan the Furniture Repairman. This is part 2 of our color and varnish video. We're going to use a golden brown Transtint. You can see it right here. Now what we're going to do is add drops into, this is sealer right here, nitrocellulose sanding sealer. We're going to spray it. Now I count my drops as I put them in so I can repeat my formula and I make sure how much I have in that cup so it's the same. Once I have it, I look at my stick. It's not quite dark enough, so I'm going to add some more drops. Now this isn't the standard way to stain and color furniture. Usually you would stain the wood, but the problem is this piece, if you saw in the first video, had a lot of color issues and we had to fix those. So it's not going to accept the stain right now. We could glaze it, but then that's almost the same thing. So this is a different technique, a tinted lacquer to get us to a color. Now my fan is very wide and you're going to see I'm going to fog it on there. I'm not close. I'm not spraying it like I would spray a lacquer coat. I'm fogging it on from a distance so I get it nice and even. And it gets there a little bit at a time. Now, color is a funny thing that you can go too much quickly and it seems like you're not getting to where you want to be, and then all of a sudden it seems like you're past where you want to be. And a lot of problems has to do with the way it dries. As the clear coats or the color coats dry, they're going to shrink and the color is going to have a more saturated look. So you have to make sure that you let the color dry enough before you move on. Now you can see in my gun there I have clear lacquer in the top of my cup right there. So after I do my color coat, I tend to shoot a clear coat on and I get a good look at where it's at. After that, I'm going to go through and add another color coat, and I'm going to creep up on the color. I'm not going to get there in one shot. Very rarely happens. I'm going to have to try to get to where I feel like is a good spot, and then after that, I'm going to put my final coats of clear on, but a little bit at a time. Now I'm showing you my refinish process exactly the way I do it when I do pieces. We do about 80% of our pieces with this technique. Now this is the chip we showed our customer. He wants it on the lighter side of that, but we're quite a ways from that. I turn my chair over at this point, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to start to repair any dings, nicks, damages if that's what we're supposed to be doing on a piece. So this is a fill stick. It's a Mohawk product. It's a wax stick. I'm going to warm it up, and everybody thinks I'm a maniac for lighting a flame in my finish booth, but I'm a professional. Don't try this at home, I guess is it. So the wax stick is a little bit melty, and it's going to go into those holes. Very nice, and I'm just going to run around. Now the color I want is similar to the color of the piece I'm working on, not the color I want to be, because I'm going to start to this color, and then when I spray my next coats of color on, they're going to follow right along and get tinted in. After that, I'll heat up the edge of a razor blade, and what this is going to do is help that wax stick melt in a little bit, and it'll help scrape off the excess that's around the area. I don't want a bunch of wax stick around the area. I just want it inside the area that I'm trying to fill. And here's a little bit different angle you can see. And you can see I'm not gentle there. You know, I'm not digging into the wood, but I'm kind of planing it off and pulling it off. And I'm just left with the stick in the hole, not anywheres around it. And the very last thing I'll do is take a piece of sandpaper and I'm going to turn it over, so I'm using the back side, and I'm going to rub it on that area and kind of heat it up with a little bit of friction and take off any extra. Now it's not perfect. We don't want perfect. This is a rustic piece, but it is better. Now I've made my color even stronger now, and I'm spraying the underside and the inside area of this chair. I like to get this done and out of the way so that I don't have to turn the chair over when I have my product almost finished. So I tend to start my pieces upside down, inside out, those sorts of things. You know, get the hard things out of the way so you can concentrate on the very important things. You don't want to have a piece almost finished and realize you got to turn it over and spray the underside, because you have a bunch of spots that if the person looks at it from a different angle, they're going to see that they don't have the color on it. So I'm just kind of turning my piece, adding my color, and you're going to see how quickly the color starts to build here. So again, I'm very far away. I'm not spraying it like I would spray a lacquer coat. I'm spraying it, we're calling this fogging on like that, and you can see it's jumping that color up into the next stage. Now it's going to take me maybe 5-6 times and a couple different techniques to get to where I'm at. But I feel like with the damage on this piece and the way it started, and you saw it in the first video, it's starting to look like a really nice kind of rustic piece of furniture. A nice knotty pine. My customer's grandfather built this for him, for his dad when he was a kid, and then he rocked in it, and now he's getting it ready for his son to rock in. And that's where we're at there. Now we're back on our right side up. There's my color chip. I'm not quite there, and I feel like I'm traveling a little more yellow than I want to, and that has to do with the base coat that's on there. So I'm going to go to a toner, a Mohawk Natural Pine. This is a tinted lacquer, but it's very concentrated, and I like using that little plastic handle because it tends to press down very well and give me a nice even spray on that. So I, again, am fogging it on from a distance. Now, I have to turn my spray booth fan off when I do this, or else it just pulls the spray right out of the booth and it really doesn't land it on a piece. So I do a little bit and then I turn my fan back on. But you have to do it in a place that's not windy, but you also have to do it in a way that's not ventilated, or you have to do it in batches. So just be careful with this. It is powerful. It has a great smell to it. And then here you see me working on the front of the piece just like that. And I'm just more or less eyeballing this, evening out, getting a nice coat of this toner on there. Now you can do a chair with just a rattle can lacquer and a couple cans of toner and never have to stain anything, and you can get a really nice looking product out of it. I don't think you can do a tabletop like that, but smaller pieces you can definitely work right out of rattle cans. You don't need spray boots, you don't need big guns. But here I am coming back again with my spray gun and my clear coat. You can see in the cup it's nice and clear there, and I'm going to spray this over one more time, and I'm going to let this toner coat and this clear coat dry, and I'm going to see where I'm at with my color at that point. If I'm not happy with it, or if I feel like I have to darken it more, then that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to darken it more. But each time I'm darkening it, I'm probably going to darken it a little bit lighter than I did the time before, because as these layers dry, they're going to shrink and they're going to go pretty dark very quick. So if you are at the color you want to be at and it's wet, when it dries you're going to be too far. Now here we go. I did my extra coats and you can see beautiful, rustic, even. I'm very happy with the way this piece turned out. And then after that we did our upholstery work on that. Look at that. How could it not be any better looking than that? This is Dan the Furniture Repairman. Thank you so much for watching. If you want us to do a particular video on something, just put it in the comment section below. Questions, you want to call me a shoemaker, no problem at all. Thank you so much. You all have a good day.